All right, I'm back, and I want to talk about the NFL. You know, I was watching the Knicks game, and they're about to lose their game, and a couple possessions where it was a 2 point game. Brunson's goofing around with the ball, great quarter closer, but you can't proceed to do the same thing. Teams scout you the same thing over and over every year. Teams are either double teaming, they're timing the fact that he's trying to draw a foul or he's trying to take a step back three. There has to be a little more variety. I think Coach Brown's got to adjust before the playoffs come. Get Towns the shot, get Deuce the shot. Make sure that everybody's not really locked in on Brunson, Brunson, Brunson. Let it be Brunson, but let it be show the opposition we're going to do things different too. We're going to kind of change your eye level how you're going to go about defending. So that was my rant. But back to the NFL and what happened. My audio got cut off. I was talking about the Rams beating the brakes off Carolina, but I'm gonna do this whole show just NFL because I just got done with college. And I think it was meant for me to break this up. And like I said, I got the Rams blowing Carolina out, Stafford and Nakua and Adams being back, them running enough with Williams, them running the ball enough, and the defense will play good enough because I don't think Bryce Young and company, I don't think they're quite ready yet to take that next step. But kudos for them for winning their division and getting to the playoffs, kind of making that whole Carolina area just excited about football again. Now they could pull the upset against Rams again. It's possible, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Now, the next game will be the Bears and Packers. Whew. On a Saturday night in Chicago, the oldest rivalry in NFL, one of the oldest rivalries in NFL history, going all the way back to Papa Hallis and then Vince Lombardi, and when they threw McMahon down and Charles Martin threw McMahon down and the refrigerator running over the Packers and all that good. Brett Favre always beating the Bears and Aaron Rodgers doing what he does all the time against the Bears, going undefeated against the Bears. Caleb Williams throwing that walk off touchdown, showing how cool as ice he is, which he really is. I got the Packers. I got the Packers in this game. This is not my. This is a dangerous prediction. I got the Packers. You know why? Because of they have their starting quarterback back. They have Jordan Love, and I believe that somehow, some way, they are going to find a way because this is the revenge factor. They just played the Bears in Chicago. They have zero fear of going to Soldier Field because they're not scared of cold. Been there, done that. We're at Lambeau Field, the frozen tundra. I think that their defense, because both teams played pretty good defense the last game, I just believe that Jordan Love coming back. Malik Willis did good, but Jordan Love coming back with his 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and Jacobs doing enough, and Dom's making plays because you know Loveland's going to do what he's going to do, and Swift's going to run. I think they're going to do a little better job because the Bears, first and foremost, run the ball. Caleb Williams makes plays, but it's off the run, and Ben Johnson's been outstanding. I mean, now without Parsons, it's not a. With Parsons, I would guarantee this. Without Parsons, it's going to be tough. It really is. Green Bay, they have the one. They have one good pass rusher, solid defense, decent cornerbacks, but the only thing that they don't have, of course, they're not home, and the Bears fans are going to be crazy, but that's not going to affect Green Bay because Green Bay, they were there a couple of weeks ago, but Jordan Love is going to be able to complete the whole game, I believe, and Dobbs will make a play here and there, even though Caleb Williams is really he's this is his second year, but he's playing like a vet. But this is his first playoff game. I'm just going on a hunch on this one. We can throw stats and permutations and calculations all we want, but I like the pack. And that's going to bode well because I'm going to probably pick the Eagles. But I'm going to go with the Saturday night game in Foxborough. I'm going with the Chargers. Okay, this is another risky pick, but I like the Chargers in this game because I like Justin Herbert uh getting right because he's been not so good in the playoffs. He's terrible against the Texans last year. Patriots defense is good, but what the Chargers do, they have 19 interceptions this year, third in the NFL. Patriots line can they give up a lot of sacks. Uh, I love Drake May. He's going to be solid, even though it's his first rodeo in the playoffs. But, and I put a but, Derwin James is going to make a play. Mack is going to get a sack. They're going to do what they have to do, and Herbert is going to be better. They run the ball good. The Harbaugh factor is good. The Patriots are home. They're on fire. Drake May, usually over 100 passer rating, you're good. He's only been under that 4 times all year. He's been on fire. I love Hunter Henry. Diggs, if he can get rid of the baby mama drama, will be fine. But that could be a factor too, because there's some other issues legally he's got to deal with. Uh, they have that two-headed monster that's really good. Henderson can go the distance. I like the Chargers. They're going to make enough plays. Herbert's going to make enough plays. It's risky, really risky, but I really, really do like the Chargers because they have a little more experience. I don't think New England's quite ready yet. McConkey is he's always been clutch ever since Clemson win a national championship. Ever since those days, he's been good. And Vidal gives him a nice little in between the tackles, 4 and 5 yard runs that keep you on schedule. Now, Trayvon Henderson could go the distance. He can go 70, 80 yards on a run. And they have a nice little 1-2 punch with their running game. Drake May, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions this year. He might get the MVP. Stafford might get it. He'll be either 1 or 2. But I'm taking a chance and going with the Chargers. I'm taking the road team so far. Sunday, and this shouldn't be no 1 o'clock game. The Bills and the Jaguars. This is a prime time game. Herbert versus Allen. You have everything you're looking for. Now, defensively, the Bills have been good, but Devon Walker, the inside up the middle pressure that he can put on Trevor Lawrence is very important because they have dominated. The one thing that Trevor Lawrence loves to go to is Parker Washington. He is the most clutch receiver on the team. You know, ATM can catch the ball out of backfield. ATM could run it. And the Jaguars are on a roll, and they're a physical defense. The sum is better than the parts. I was a believer when Jacksonville went to the 49ers, who usually plays physical. Shanahan, even though they don't have all the names, they played well this year. They're in the playoffs, you know, but they physically took it to the Niners, even though after the game it was almost going to be a war between Saleh and the head coach. And Jacksonville took it to them. Jacksonville walked into Denver and beat up the Broncos. So they're home against Buffalo. Buffalo's desperate. This could be it. This could be the end of the coaching. This could be the end of the team. They might break it up. You don't know. The Buffalo's desperate to get to the Super Bowl. This is the hardest pick because everything in me tells me Jacksonville's going to win. But there's a part of me that says Buffalo, they got to get out of this game. Risky. I'm going with the Bills. The Bills Josh Allen will make a play at the very end of the game. Shakir will make a catch here and there. Cook will run. He's not going to run wild on Jacksonville. He'll do enough. The Bills defense will do enough. And they have, listen, Josh Hines, Allen, and Travon Walker are tremendous edge rushers. But Deion Dawkins is one of the best offensive linemen in the league. He's going to do what he has to do um, to get the Buffalo Bills over the hump. Now, the Sunday games. I mean, that was one of the Sunday games. The primetime game, Eagles, Niners. I got the Eagles beating the Niners up. And this would be a good matchup for the Niners, but Shanahan's done his best coaching job. And McCaffrey, as long as you have McCaffrey, you have a chance. But in this game, and you know, Purdy is going to be good. He's solid on the road. That's not going to scare them. They don't have those guys that they always had. Debo's not there. Jawan Jennings is still there. He makes good plays, but their offense can stall because they don't have the stars. And Cooper DeJean and Mitchell on the other end with the Eagles and their cornerbacks and their secondary is so solid. Their pass rush is good. I'll say, man, the Eagles are going to beat them up. But the Eagles their offense will play a half, then the second half or first half will be good. Second half will be bad. First half will be bad. Second half will be good. They're going to keep the Niners in the game. I can't say the Eagles are going to blow them out. The Eagles, I think, will squeak by. But they have to be careful because if they throw a clunker for a half, Purdy is good enough to make plays, and McCaffrey's good enough to do what he has to do. And you got to be real careful trying to go again. And Robert Saleh, you know what it is? It's a defense by committee. They don't have the Telfungas and all those guys, but what they do have. And you know what? I got to Kittle. George Kittle could be a bigger difference too. They do have that. The Kittle McCaffrey combination with Jawan Jennings could help a lot. But what I do like, they still have Warner. But what I do like with the 49ers is the fact that their defense plays. They just don't have the names. And I wonder if that's enough to stop Smith, because, everybody talks about who you got to stop on the Eagles. Saquon Barkley. You got to make sure of course you got to stop him. But you know what happens is that A.J. Brown, you got to stop A.J. Brown. But it's always Smith that ends up hurting you in the end because he's the second guy, but he's a number one receiver, but they have him as number two because A.J. Brown's their guy. And Barkley's good at the backfield. If they run the ball, they'll really hurt the Niners. And Seattle punched the Niners in the face, and the Niners are going to look to play better. And the Niners wanted revenge when the Eagles destroyed them when Purdy got hurt. And the Niners said, if Purdy didn't get hurt, we go to Super Bowl. I remember that a couple of years ago. So there's no love lost here. Bad blood with the teams, and I'm looking forward to that. So I recap those games now. The next game I want to talk about is the last one, Pittsburgh and Texans. The Texans are a better team than my Steelers. So the only chance, it's going to be a good game because Pittsburgh's going to, Metcalf is huge. But the one thing that's helping Pittsburgh is Austin is starting to build a rapport with Rodgers. And maybe that suspension was kind of a blessing in disguise because Austin and Thielen are starting to find their rhythm. Now you have Metcalf. You're going to need it because this is one of the soundest, solidest defenses in the entire sport to go along with CJ Stroud, who's been good. Sometimes he hasn't. Nico Collins is ridiculous. And Pittsburgh can't have the gaping holes. The secondary can't have those gaping holes they had against Baltimore. They'll get crushed. So the secondary has to shore up. But what the Steelers have to do, if the Texans have to play their game, play defense, let Stroud do what he does. You go on the road, you silence the crowd, and you win. What Pittsburgh has to do, they have to create, it has to be kind of a chaotic kind of game where it's a swashbuckling kind of game like the Ravens, where it's missed kicks and it's fumbles and strip sacks. It's just the wind and the cold. It has to be that kind of game for Pittsburgh to win, which is possible. And whoever wins this game has a good chance against Denver. Pittsburgh wins, it's a pick-em against the Broncos. Texans win, they're going to beat the Broncos. So I think I picked all the road teams. This one, I'm going to go if. If the Texans show up, they win. They show up and play their game, they win. If the Pittsburgh makes it a chaotic game and Rodgers has time, the Steelers will win. So I have, let me see here. I think I picked all the road teams. I have the Rams, the Packers, the Bills, the Eagles are the home team, and the Chargers. And the Texans and Steelers, I got to pick them. The only home team I know that's going to win is the Eagles. Because I think the road teams have more experience and they're going to be live dogs. And the experience level with the Texans and Steelers are even. So you have the coaches who have the experience. So that's, like I told you, look at the style in the first quarter of that game on Monday night. If it's just going, the crowd is quiet and the Texans are throwing the Steelers around and playing good defense, and they're lively on the sideline, and Pittsburgh's quiet, and they're going 3 out, and their secondary is being stupid, even though they have a good pass rush. You got holes in the secondary. You forget it. The Texans are good. But if the game is close and the secondary has figured it out because Ramsey's talented and Porter, they have some talent, watch out. And the only weakness on the Texans is their safety position is not as good. The corners are. Stingley could go right toe-to-toe with Metcalf. That's going to be a great matchup. That matchup scares me as a Steelers fan because how great Stingley is. But like I said, they've gone to other players, Austin and Thielen. So they kind of have that in their back pocket. But Stroud is good. And that's going to be a really good matchup. And just look at the style of play in that game. And you'll know by the first quarter, this is a chaotic game. All right. Pittsburgh got a chance. Texans are coming here playing their game, and the Steelers can't stop them. Okay, I see what's going to happen. But it's going to be a great, great opening weekend.